Salute to Math Hoffa, bro. Salute to K-Shine. Salute to Hoffa for giving K-Shine a platform to express his grievances, bro, with the business over at URL. K-Shine is talking his talk. There's some very interesting things that K-Shine said as well that let me know that K-Shine is not under any contractual obligation, bro. URL would like us to believe that that's the case, bro. But when it comes to these types of situations, the problem is really usually about control and the fact that the business would love to control all of these battlers, bro. Unfortunately for URL, that's not always going to be possible. Let's talk about it. I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. This is a surprise, man. This is a very nice surprise from Math Hoffa. You know what I'm saying? Math Hoffa's gone on to do bigger and better things as far as interviewing everybody in the hip-hop industry and blase, blase, blah. So it's nice, man. It's amazing to see Hoffa take a step back, bro, and give somebody somebody as important as K-Shine in the battle rap community a platform to be able to talk about the business, bro, to be able to talk about and put on Front Street his problems and his issues with the business of specifically URL. Salute to Hoffa. We needed this. The BRC needed this and needs this. It's evident because if you take a look at the views on a video like this, it's at almost 100K views within 24 hours compared to Hoffa's other videos that he's currently uploading are not nearly there. So you know that there's an interest in this type of thing. Plus, Hoffa's platform originated with him covering battle rap. So a lot of his original fan base is also and are also battle rap fans. So salute to Hoffa again for taking a step back, bro, and putting these things on Front Street. It's so funny. It's so funny, man, how when K-Shine was going through his issues with the URL, right? URL cheerleaders, man, are always so quick to defend URL. And I've spoken about this. I've spoken about the reason as to why people are so quick to up and defend URL. So to a lot of people, URL could never do no wrong. And the reason is because if you grew up watching URL, you grew up following Smack and blase blah, you can't tell somebody who grew up watching URL and believes in URL and loves URL, you can't tell them that these types of things are really happening. Just like if you grew up religious, believing in God, you can't tell somebody 10, 15 years down the line after they believed in God that God doesn't exist. You can't even, don't even try. You can't tell somebody, you know what I'm saying, a kid that's believed in Santa Claus for the past 5 to 10 years that Santa Claus doesn't really exist. It's devastating. It's heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people are so quick to jump and defend URL. When K-Shine was going through his issues with URL, y'all remember, let's take a trip down memory lane. When he was going through his issues, specifically, it popped up around when he was supposed to battle Jack Boy Maine, supposedly. That's when K-Shine started to really put his issues with URL on Front Street. K-Shine was putting on Front Street all the funny things that were happening over with URL. All the funny things that was happening, bro. Sabotage flights, misinformation, miscommunication, and blase, blase, blah. That's when this whole thing started really coming to light for K-Shine. A lot of people immediately started siding with the URL, not knowing what was going on, not taking into consideration the issues that K-Shine was going through, the fact that he's not somebody who's just going to be saying these crazy things just to say it. K-Shine is not Daylight. You know what I'm saying? So it broke my heart to see so many people not believe what K-Shine was talking about, bruh. So many people were so quick to jump to this point, right? This is the point. This is the point of this whole video pretty much, and what K-Shine addresses, and I think is very interesting. People want to immediately jump to this point, right? When it comes to K-Shine and the URL and the business, oh, K-Shine needs to fulfill his obligations. K-Shine needs to fulfill his contractual obligations with the URL. He can't cry. K-Shine needs to compete. This is what the URL cheerleaders, the people that can't believe that URL does anything wrong or takes advantage of any, this is what the point that everybody was trying to get to. Oh, K-Shine needs to fulfill his obligations. He still got battles to do. Not knowing nor understanding what the wording or the verbiage is and or was in these contracts. Not knowing and not understanding what it was that's being said inside of these contracts. Yet people would jump to that conclusion. Oh, he needs to fulfill his obligations with the URL. Oh, K-Shine needs to stop capping and fulfill his obligations with the URL. Again, not knowing what the verbiage is inside of these contracts. What's funny to me though, right, is that I don't think that that was ever really the case. K-Shine says and brings up a point in this video, in this short video that Math Hoffa uploaded, that tells me that I don't think that was ever really the point with URL. It was never ever really about fulfilling a contractual obligation. It's not about necessarily what y'all was trying to say it was about, doing the battles and owing money and blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. It's not about that. What it's about is about control. It's about having control over the stars, over the mega stars. It's about having power over them, having leverage over these guys. Making sure that these guys never get too big for their britches. That's what it's primarily about. So when people were trying to defend URL when this was going on, and I'm gonna get to why I believe that this is the case now, because I watched this video and K-Shine said something very interesting. That's why it's so interesting when people try to think that they automatically know what's going on with the URL and try to say, oh, he didn't do his battle with Jack Boy, so he has contractual obligations to fulfill and blah, 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 blah. But we don't know that that's the case. People, we just go out and say that. As if K-Shine would just be sitting out here exposing everything for no reason. In this video, K-Shine lets us know, and this is why I don't believe that it's about fulfilling a contractual obligation, K-Shine owing battles to URL or owing money to URL, because K-Shine lets us know in this video, and I thought it was very interesting, that the URL is attempting to start a new situation with K-Shine. K-Shine lets us know that the URL is actually reaching out to T-Rex to try to get to know. K-Shine's most likely probably not responding to URL. It doesn't want to talk to the people over at URL. And URL most likely knows this and understands that K-Shine ain't trying to do business or really talk to anybody over at URL. And K-Shine has said that he's never going to battle on URL again. K-Shine has said all these things. So URL is not going to be reaching out to K-Shine to try. So they're going through T-Rex, bruh. URL is going through T-Rex to try and offer K-Shine a new situation. T-Rex even shows K-Shine screenshots because K-Shine thought that T-Rex was capping, but T-Rex shows the screenshots that show that the URL is trying to reach K-Shine through T-Rex to start a new situation, to offer a new situation. Let me emphasize that part. To offer a new situation. But hold up, wait a second though, wait. For all the URL cheerleaders that automatically jump to defend URL to say that K-Shine needs to fulfill contractual obligations by law, right? Because that's what a contractual obligation is, it's by law. Why would the URL be trying to reach out to K-Shine to offer a new situation if K-Shine owes URL battles? If K-Shine owes URL money? If K-Shine owes and is contractually obligated to do these things for URL, why is the URL now trying to reach K-Shine through T-Rex to offer him a new situation? Why? If K-Shine is contractually obligated to fulfill his previous obligations, why would the business try to start a new situation? I'll tell y'all why. It's because it was never about K-Shine fulfilling his contract. K-Shine fulfilled his contractual obligations when he showed up that night to battle Jack Boy Maine. And for some bizarre, odd reason, Jack Boy Maine had multiple seizures where no ambulance was called and nothing. K-Shine fulfilled his obligations. So when people were jumping out the window saying, oh, K-Shine didn't do the battle, so he has to fulfill his contractual obligations. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He showed up. He was there when he was supposed to be there. It is not his fault, and it wasn't his fault that that battle didn't go down. And on that night, K-Shine completed his contractual obligation. He did. Which is exactly why URL would be trying to reach out to K-Shine now through T-Rex to offer a new situation. Because that previous situation was done for. That previous situation that so many of y'all tried to say, oh no, K-Shine still owes URL multiple battles, or they owe URL money, or even when Beasley and even when Beasley got on camera and tried to say that K-Shine owes them money and owes them this and owes them that. Cap, bro. If that were the case, why aren't you guys legally enforcing this? Why aren't you guys doing what you're supposed to do as far as the court goes? You know, you're missing out on a lot of money. If K-Shine is contractually obligated to fulfill these battles on events, you guys are missing out on a lot of money. So I don't see why you wouldn't be taking them to court or doing something like that. You take everybody else to court because K-Shine fulfilled his obligations on that night, bro. He did. And now the URL, they know that they're struggling. They know they need more stars and more main events, bro. And they're now trying to reach out to K-Shine, but through T-Rex. Hoffa, salute to you, man, for letting K-Shine speak his truth, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is that K-Shine has to say and what he's gonna say. And so are a lot of other people, bro. Almost 100K views in less than a day on an interview with K-Shine. This is more views than a bunch of Hoffa's other videos get within a day when he puts on like a hip-hop star or something like that. Like, people are interested to hear what's going on with K-Shine and URL in the business over there, man. So let me know what y'all think of that, man. You already know what it is. It's your boy Joe coming at you live and direct from the battle